Can you believe it's the end of December and the compost is still soft? I think I need to even add some water to it. Normally I'd only be able to throw things on top of a frozen pile here in Saskatchewan, Canada this time of year. I didn't plan on needing to be back in that corner when I put everything away for the winter in my shed. But here I am, so I guess it's time to go digging. Can I get this without spilling it? Ugh. Oh, those weren't good noises. Okay. Well, that wasn't too bad. Knocked a few things down, but not too bad. Okay, off I go. Oh, hello, Prairie Plant Girl here. It's been a while. I think it's been a couple weeks since I posted a video. We've had Christmas since then. All the fun and festivities. And I took some time off here so that I could, just enjoy the time with my family and just, have a little refresher. There's not a lot going on in the garden in Saskatchewan, Canada this time of year anyways. So took a little time and thought I'd come back here and just kind of say hello to you and let you know what's going on, I guess. Make a little space for myself here. I can't believe my greenhouse has a jug of water, not ice, water this time of year. I should throw this on that compost pile and water these. Can you see those? These are those little native seeds that I put in here, and I think they're pretty dry under there. Not much happening, but give them a little drink so they don't dry out completely. They were frozen a while ago. Yeah, can't believe it's been such a warm December, warm November. My son and I were just talking, thinking, like, when was the last time we had snow? Was it beginning of November, at the end of October, something like that? I got new tools for in my greenhouse, so I don't have to always go running to grab some from the house to the garage, so that'll be nice. Have some right out in the yard where I need them. Get those out of my way right now. And you might wonder, if you recognize this, why I needed a bucket of sprinkler supplies in December in Saskatchewan, Canada. It's because I also got this. Now, it's just a little organizer. I told my husband I needed something with just some small compartments that were adjustable, that I could put all my little smaller sprinkler parts in. So I'm just going to organize those. That's what I'm going to be doing out here today. So obviously not for the hoses and drip lines and that, but something like this. This is a little 1 1/4 inch coupler. And I have a bunch of these in here. And sometimes some of these bags have little Ziploc things on them or zipper closures, and some of them don't. And then little pieces are all over my bucket. So I'm going to take them. I'm actually going to put the bag in the bottom, I think. And I'm just going to try and organize some of this stuff. I just thought it would be good to just kind of check in with you quick. Just say, hey, I'm still here. Because I have been kind of gone for a while. And haven't been really putting out a lot of videos, but sometimes you just need a little break. And sometimes that's the best thing for all of us, right? And why waste your time with some absolute nothing? But I did think it might be interesting just to see how beautiful it is outside right now. Really, like, this is unbelievable. I walked out here in a sweater, which I know in some parts of the world would be hot, but for here, like, normally a big coat at the end of December is what you need. It's 20 degrees Celsius in here right now. And absolutely gorgeous. I'm actually kind of regretting not taking this opportunity to try and grow more down in my little grow bag down here. I had some cauliflower down there at the end of the summer into the fall there, and I had left it to see what would happen, but we did have some pretty cold nights a couple of times. And this is my first year, you know, really trying to do anything in here in the winter, so I didn't really know what to expect. And they did definitely die off. But I think if I'd have maybe, I never thought of it at the time, but if I'd have put maybe some frost blanket or something on, I mean, if I'd have known it was going to be this warm out, I think I could have done that and babied them along for those couple of weeks. And then it's been getting above zero, like every day it's been above freezing. It's, you know, barely been dipping below freezing most nights. So just a little bit of frost blanket. I think I could have had these last few months and actually gotten cauliflower off them. Now I don't know, because our days are really short. We're finally over that hump. They're getting longer again, but I don't know if there would have been enough daylight, but kind of wondering if I should have tried to get something growing out here. But that ship has sailed. It is supposed to be getting back into somewhat more normal temperatures in the next week here. But I just thought I'd, you know, try and get some of these things kind of organized in here so that when spring does come, I'll be able to find them and use them. I'll probably make better labels, get the label maker out at some point, but until I really know exactly how I want to use this, I'll just put some packaging in the buckets. I think I would recognize what everything is anyways, but just kind of pop things in there. I'm not sure what's all in that bag. We'll save that for a minute. But here, like here, I have some elbow connectors. These were just like plugs for the ends of tubing. A lot of this is my 1/4 inch stuff. And I'm planning on getting some 1/2 inch drip tubing going next year, so then I'll have some stuff for that too. But then I could take, because it'll be bigger, if I need to take some dividers out to make room for it, I can do that. And how was your Christmas? I didn't get a lot of Christmas, like, gardening goodies this year for Christmas like I usually do, but I actually didn't ask for much either. What did you get? That's my little thing for punching holes in the tubing. These, you need to be careful with these. I've mixed these up with other things before. So make sure I have them separated, because if they just get out and loose, it can be easy to mix them up with the ones that just have a valve here. But these are actually to hook into your tubing, and then they'll spray out this end and do a spray. The other ones that I have just are a shut-off valve. So I've mixed them up before, just grabbing them quick out of the bottom of my bucket and not realizing what I had. Tell me everyone has a random bucket of mess like I do here. What did you get for Christmas or over the holidays? Do you celebrate Christmas? Do you do gift exchanges? Let me know in the comments down below if you got anything that was really awesome that you think we should know about. These, I think, are all, yeah, these are all T connectors. Oh, these are still in the bag, so we'll leave these in the bag, sealed up. Have you ever seen this brand? These are really handy. This is, I don't know if you can get them everywhere. This is Gardena, like that. And this is the connector compared to like this one here. And I used these the first time this year and I found them much easier to get on the tubing. And then they have these little metal things that kind of clamp onto the tubing and hold it. So they slip on and off, or slip on, I guess, easily. And then this is what actually catches it and holds it. Whereas these have all these little barbed bits on them. And it can make it more difficult to get them onto the tubing. And this is just bigger to hold onto to work with. You know, whereas these little bits here can be kind of awkward with your hands. Not sponsored or anything, just something I've discovered this year is these little gardenia bits, and they do hook on quite well. Little spiky things, kind of handy. See, I have little bits like this. This one's actually broken, but sometimes I'll throw them in so I can reuse them, but this is one of those shut-off ones. So unfortunately it broke, but you just turn this to adjust how much water can get through. And they're really handy for if you have drip lines like I do set up to your garden beds or whatever. You can just shut this valve off if you have a garden bed that you're not growing anything in at the time or that needs less water. You can make less flow. So a handy little valve to put in if you think of it when you're connecting all your drip lines. This one's broken, so I'm not sure why I saved it. Throw it in my garbage. And here's a bunch of little stakes. I like to use these to tack down my tubing. It's just like landscape stakes. These are just shorter ones. They work pretty good for putting down, getting your tubing put down. So maybe take one of these little dividers out and see if they'll fit in. Maybe I need 2 dividers out. I think I have more of those somewhere in here. There's just a random, you know, when your hose breaks, a little end that you can put on. Waste not, want not. So this one, my husband, I think, actually wants to cut that off because that's not a hose I had, but must have been something he saved for me, and now I have it. So put it in there so I can find it. See, here's like the 1/2 inch, I think this would be 1/2 inch line piece. I'm not sure why I have this, but again, might be something my husband had. But I'll save this because I'm going to be hopefully getting some 1/2 inch drip line put into my flower beds this year. And then I'll need some of those. So here's a flow restrictor. So if you hook your lines up to a tap, then you need to make sure the water pressure is accurate for what you need so you don't blow the lines all off. And I always have one of these in here too. Probably isn't supposed to be out here over the winter, but I always have kept it out here and it hasn't been a problem. Now, will it fit in this little container? Possibly not. I wonder how the handle works. Might have to figure out a new spot for this. It's a little bit bigger landscape staple stake thing that I use. You can see the size difference. Sometimes, especially in like my raised beds, you see one goes to here, one's down longer. Sometimes in my raised beds, the ground is just so soft that the longer staples work better. So I always try to keep a few of those on hand. Lots of little bits of hose. Oh, here's another shut-off valve. Now, it is above 0, but I think it's going to be too cold to get that off of there right now, but I can reuse that valve, so I'll stick it in here another day when I'm working on things. Let's see what was in this bag. All the goodies. Oh, that's probably important. That's instructions for one of my sprinkler timers. That's all these little things, little connectors. I have lots of these. I might need more space than this, but this would be a good start anyways, just to get it more organized. Some of these pieces, the one irrigation drip system I use in some of my flower pots, and that came with a bunch of extra pieces so you could adapt it however you wanted. So I have just extra bits from that set that I don't really have a use for now, but I might one day, so I have them all saved. But I might need a bigger container than even this. So, yeah, I think some of this stuff is just gonna have to get piled up together for now. I might actually need another one of these containers for the 1/2-inch stuff. Washers. This is a little screen for in your hose or on your flow restrictors and things, just to if you have any hard water or debris in your water. This is also if you have trouble with water in your sprinkler heads and that. This is an old sprinkler head off my garden. It has this little screen in it, and you can take these apart and pull these screens out, and sometimes they're just full of crud. Little bits of lime scale or whatever, depending on what your water's like. And sometimes that's all you need is just to clean those little screens out that you might not even know exist if you had someone else do your sprinklers for you. One more of these. I don't know if that'll fit like that. So there, things are in there now. Obviously, this is sticking up too high. Some of the stuff is just not going to fit. I wonder if this unscrews. Some of these come apart. I can't remember if that does. Just stick it out of the way for now. It goes with this timer. It was a set I had purchased for the 1/4-inch line that I have to my my flower pots and hanging baskets and things. I actually don't use this timer very much anymore. I bought a different one so I can have more runs off of it, but it's still a good timer. It was a good set. It came with lots of additional pieces, but so this is the start to trying to get a little bit more organized and maybe be able to find things better next year when I'm doing my sprinklers. So let's see. These little bags might be a problem the way I stuck them in there. See if that works better. And the lid close. There. I think it'll all stay in there. So now this is just tubing and a couple of manuals. But that's better. And I actually have a bigger bucket with more tubing in, so I'll probably just put it all in there. But first, this tubing I think is stuff I need to go through and take, just cut these little ends out and then I can organize them. See, there's a connector on this one here. That connector's broken, so that just needs to get taken out and thrown away. But I do reuse those connectors whenever I can, so I'll slip that in there for now. And it's just one more little bit of organizing ready to go when spring hits. So I know not super exciting little job that I was doing there today, but you know, I thought I better take advantage of some of this weather while I have it and try and get those little jobs done that I can be doing right now that I won't have to do then in the spring. Here in Saskatchewan, Canada, we have such a condensed season. If you watched my video, I think it will have been out by now by the time I get this put out, where it just shows one photo at the beginning of every month throughout the year. And you can just see how quickly we go from cold and snow and frozenness to growing, you know, and everything's in full bloom and full production, and then it's just all done again and we're right back to the cold and the snow. So I thought, you know, I should take this time while the weather's nice, beautiful day out, and just get this little job done. It didn't take very long, but it's one less thing that I'll have to do in the spring now to try and get myself organized and be able to easily find things when I go to do my jobs. So do you have any jobs like that, you know, maybe you could take advantage of a nice day like I did, or maybe you're lucky enough to have nice days in the winter a lot to do this sort of thing? But what kind of jobs have you been maybe putting off or just need to do, or a little organization? And maybe you have an organization tip that you could share in the comments to help the rest of us get more organized for our garden seasons. So thanks for watching. I'll have lots of seed starting, planting. I have to go through some of my seeds, and I'll share with you some of the things I'm going to be growing in the 2024 gardening year. But this was just kind of a little bit of organizing and touching base and just sharing this beautiful weather. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye. And I do think, as unbelievable as it is, the compost needs some water in December. Mark that down. I'll probably never need to do that ever again in December.